It's almost time to send the kids back to school, and if you're a parent out there, knowing the right backpack is very important out there. In fact, with us right now here is Dr. Michael Chang here with the Sonoran Spine Center to talk to us about the different backpacks and the right backpacks, because you could cause some serious harm to your kids.
Yes, actually, Ryan, that's one of the most common questions I hear in my practice from concerned parents is whether or not having to lug all those heavy textbooks in a backpack will cause some permanent long-term damage to the spine.
You could go and you could buy a $13 backpack, and that thing's sagging behind them. They fill it full of all sorts of stuff, and all of a sudden they're kind of walking like this to class.
Yeah, absolutely. Or they're hunched way over, and you can't help but look at that and think, wow, that's going to cause some long-term problems, right? Well, the issue has actually been studied extensively, and the good news is that even if kids wear a very heavy backpack, or if it's not worn perfectly, it doesn't really cause any long-term problems. It doesn't cause permanent hunchbacking. It doesn't cause scoliosis or any of the other concerns that most parents have. It does, however, contribute to having back pain. So we know that if kids wear backpacks with weights that are over about 20% of their body weight, about 1 in 3 will just complain about back pain until they learn to either lighten their load, that makes sense, or to wear the backpack more properly. So there's definitely good ways and bad ways to go about wearing.
You've brought some models here.
Absolutely.
Some kids with some
Carmen?
backpack ideas. And when they come out here, talk about why, for instance, this backpack is one way to go.
Sure, absolutely. So actually, Carmen here is wearing a very popular style of backpack where it's not really on the back, it's kind of slung across one of the shoulders. And this is actually not ideal. The reason why is because all of the weight is put on the shoulders asymmetrically. So it's not distributed well, it's all through one particular shoulder. So in general, this tends to cause more back pain. Now, if your child wears this and has no complaints, there's no need to change it. But if they start saying, Mom, Dad, I have some pain in my back, and they wear it this way, then perhaps it's time to consider a different.
Now, could you go with something like this if they don't have to take books?
Yes.
You know, I mean, if it's just a couple of folders to take with them and maybe a lunch and a snack, would this still be okay?
Yes, as long as it's light enough, then you don't have to worry about how the weight is distributed. It's not just how heavy the load is, it's how you distribute it across your body.
Gotcha.
Okay, thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
Okay, Glenn, can you come out? So Glenn here also is wearing a backpack. Can you turn a little bit for us, Glenn? And Glenn has the more traditional backpack where it's slung across both shoulders, as you can see here. But unfortunately, the backpack is a bit low, right? So you can see that most of the weight of the backpack is distributed down here, which is below the level of the hips.
Gotcha.
When that happens, because as they walk, it kind of acts as a pendulum and swings from side to side, it actually ends up torquing the spine a little bit.
Okay, and my son does this. He likes to sag it as far down as he can, but you're saying that he's probably going to experience some pain because of how it swings.
Right, so it can contribute to pain. Once again, if he's not having any pain, that's fine, but if he starts complaining about back pain, one of the first things to do is to adjust it so that it sits up higher. That way it doesn't swing around and pull on the muscles.
What about how thick these straps are? You guys can see this at home. Does that even play a role in it?
It does. In general, the thicker the strap, as long as it fits appropriately to the shoulder, distributes the forces of the backpack better.
Okay.
So in general, you want to have it on both shoulders, and it wants to be thicker, but not to the point where it doesn't fit properly.
Well, let me ask. I mean, to me, this looks like it might be a little too big of a backpack for him.
Yes, this is too big of a backpack for him. So that's the other problem with this backpack.
Okay.
Okay?
Great.
All right. Thanks, Glenn. And if Addie would come out. Okay. So Addie here, if you can stand for me slightly at a side.
This looks like it's a better fit for her size.
This is a better fit for her size, and you can see that this backpack is filled with a lot of objects, so it can tend to be quite heavy. But what she's done to combat this is to have the shoulder straps on both shoulders, so that distributes the weight evenly. The backpack sits up higher, and she even has a third area of securing, of anchoring the backpack to her, which is this waist strap.
Should parents look for that? Is that a big player in
It can help. So once again, if your kid is only wearing about 10% of their body weight on in their backpack, that's fine. But if you start getting around 20, 25%, and they say, gosh, that's just how much our textbook weighs. We need to wear a heavier backpack. Then you should start considering these waist straps as well.
All right. Wonderful advice, Dr. Chang. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
You guys were amazing. You look great, all ready for school, huh? No? Yeah? Excited?
Great.
I wish my kids were that excited. Hey, thanks for coming in here. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yeah.